Today we're going to talk about something you probably think you know all about, intermittent fasting. But we're going to look at it through a totally different lens, one that has almost nothing to do with food and everything to do with your future. Let's get into it.
So let's just start with a big question. You see fasting everywhere, right? It's always tied to weight loss, meal preps, hitting your fitness goals. But what if all of that is just scratching the surface? What if this whole practice was secretly a tool for building the life you want? For something much, much bigger than just managing your weight? Now that's an interesting idea, and it's the one we're unpacking today.
Okay, so first things first. Let's tear down the way most people see fasting so we can get to what's really going on underneath.
This is the common wisdom, isn't it? You skip breakfast, you eat in a certain window, you might lose a couple pounds. For a lot of people, that's it, story's over. But that's missing the most powerful part of the whole thing. And here it is, the key takeaway. The physical benefits, they're just a nice bonus. The real, lasting change happens in your head. Fasting is basically a mental workout disguised as a diet plan. So how does this mental training actually happen? Well, it all comes down to a concept you've definitely heard of, but maybe not applied in this way. Let's talk about the discipline of delay. This is the foundation for everything we're talking about. Delayed gratification. It's that choice to say no to something good right now so you can get something great later on. And let me tell you, this skill is a superpower in pretty much every area of your life. This quote just nails the whole experience. Fasting is a direct conversation with your most basic primal instincts. You're consciously, deliberately overriding the simple urge to eat. You're teaching your body that you are in the driver's seat, not your temporary feelings. You can actually break the process down into 4 really simple steps. First, the impulse shows up, that hunger pang. Second, you consciously decide not to do anything about it. Third, you just sit with that discomfort for a bit. And fourth, boom, you just did a rep for your willpower muscle. You are literally getting stronger at saying no. Okay, you're building this willpower muscle. So what? Well, this is where things get really powerful. How in the world does this connect to your finances? Check this out. It's a perfect one-to-one comparison. The mental muscle you use to ignore that hunger pang is the exact same muscle you use to resist buying something you don't need. Skipping a meal is literally training for skipping a pointless expense. One strengthens the other. And this table just lays it all out, right? 2 totally different mindsets. The person who acts on every impulse, eats the junk food, and spends the paycheck the minute it hits their account. But the person with that trained discipline, they invest their hunger. They use that feeling to fuel a better decision, a decision that feeds their future. So here's the bottom line. Every hour you fast isn't just an hour without food. It's an hour in the gym training for the financial decisions that will define your entire life. It is a daily rehearsal for success. All right, let's reframe this whole thing into a new, much more powerful mindset. Let's talk about the currency of control. This is such a critical distinction to make. If you look at fasting as suffering, as just depriving yourself, you're missing the entire point. But if you see it as training, as building a skill, as getting stronger, well, then the whole experience transforms. This is that core mindset shift in action. Every part of it gets an upgrade. You're not just burning fat, you are forging discipline. You're not just thinking about your waistline, you're thinking about your wallet. And ultimately, you're not just on a diet, you're building your empire. And all of this leads to what might be the single most powerful idea we've talked about. The true currency, the one that really matters. It isn't what's in your bank account. Not at first. It starts with this. Discipline is the only real currency that compounds faster than interest. What an incredible thought. Every single act of self-control doesn't just add to your strength, it multiplies it. It creates a foundation that lets your wealth, your success, everything grow exponentially. So really, it all boils down to a very simple but incredibly profound formula. Delay now, dominate later. Those small, disciplined choices you make today are the very foundation for a future where you have the freedom and the power to win. That's all for this explanation.